Hi guys, Kaz Grant here, and today's video I want to dive into the stories that we tell ourselves when personal branding, or maybe not when personal branding, but especially before we start personal branding, right? So basically, the stories that we tell ourselves are so important. They either empower us to do something or they stop us doing it in our tracks. So if you say things like, I can't personally brand. I don't like people seeing my face. I don't like putting my face out there. I can't create video form content because I hate the sound of my own voice. Like, oh, no one else would want to hear that. I can't personally brand because what am I going to offer the world? Like why would anyone watch me? Like, if you say things like that, of course you are never going to start a personal brand. You're never going to start putting yourself out there. You're never going to start personally branding. You're never going to offer anything to this world. And in return, you're never going to get the amount of opportunities that you could get through, because you're not putting yourself out there. You're not visible because you're stopping yourself. You're stopping yourself through the stories that you tell yourself. Even if it's as small as like, I can't personally brand, like, where do I even begin? Like, that's a story. Where do you even begin? You watch videos like this and you learn and you start doing it. And over time you get better and better and better. Ta-da! And then in, like, I don't know, 5 years time, 10 years time, you look back and you're like, wow, I've created a personal brand. So the stories that we tell ourselves are so powerful. So humans, we're so weird and our brains are so clever, right? So if we tell ourselves that we can't do something, if we like speak words either internally in our heads or out loud to other people, if we speak words of I can't, then we won't. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You won't do it. If you get a bit more curious and you flip the scripts on the I can'ts and you're like, okay, I don't have the tools and the knowledge and the skills, and I might not feel confident or comfortable in myself now, but how could I get more confident? What things could I do? How could I learn to personally brand? Like, what could I watch? What could I read? What could I listen to podcast-wise? Who could I watch who's doing it well and gain inspiration from? Like, if you don't like the sound of your own voice on video, you have to get over that. Like, how about starting to be kinder to yourself? Because I think a lot of people don't put themselves out there and start personally branding because actually they are horrible to themselves, and we're so unkind to ourselves, right? Think about yourself for a second. Like, the things that you internally say to yourself, would you ever say those to friends? Most of the time we wouldn't, would we? Would you ever tell your friend, like, oh my gosh, why have you created that video? Your voice sounds awful. No, never. Have you ever looked at another person's, like a friend's profile photo or a photo that they've posted on any platform and gone, oh my gosh, why did they put that on there? Their face looks horrendous. We wouldn't dare, and we wouldn't think those things either. We wouldn't say those things to them. We wouldn't think those things because we love our friends. So actually, how about a bit of self-bloody love? And if we're telling ourselves things like that and we're not loving on ourselves, like, what else? It's not even personal branding that's your worst thing that's going to happen to you. Like, what else are you missing out on? What are you not doing in your life? What potential are you not living because you're stopping yourself through the stories that you're telling yourselves? So I've done it. We've all been there, right? I'm not perfect. I'm a human being as well. And I have definitely said horrible things to myself in the past and thought horrible things in the past. And even today, I catch myself saying things that aren't ideal to myself. But the key is that I catch myself doing it now. I catch myself and I have a little moment where I think, interesting. Not, oh my God, I'm so awful for beating myself up about that. Oh, I'm so horrible to myself. And again, beating yourself up about beating yourself up. Not doing that. Just being curious. Like, where does that come from? Why do I think that? How can I think something differently? What do I need to do to think something differently? There's lots of people out there that are not happy with the way they look, so they don't want to put themselves online. What can you control out of how you look? If you can't make it, if it's an overweight thing, then can you get a bit healthier? Can you find a way to get a bit healthier? So then you're not overweight anymore. So then you do like the way that you look. So then you do want to get out there and start putting yourself out there because you're not hiding away anymore. I don't know, like, could it be how you're dressing? You're not enjoying how you're dressing. Can you find a way to dress a little bit better? Can you speak to a friend and go, I really need your help with this. I've lost my mojo with shopping and what to wear, and I just feel a bit drab and it's holding me back. Like, is there anything, like, can we go together? Can you tell me what looks good and what doesn't? Like, and I want a bit of a revamp of wardrobe. I don't know, like, what is the thing for you? If you can control it, change it. If you can't control it, if it is literally like, you know, it's not a weight thing, it's not how you're dressing thing, it's literally like you hate how you look, you need to start rewiring. You need to start getting up, getting in front of that mirror every single day and giving yourself some flipping love. What do you like about yourself? Look in that mirror. Face yourself. What do you like about yourself? For me, do you know what? My hair goes pretty well. You know, if I'm having like a day where, you know, it's coming up to that time of month, ladies, you know what I mean. We just feel horrendous. We feel bigger. We've probably got some spots. Skin's not the best. We probably haven't slept that well, so we're looking tired. Like, you know, you don't feel your best at that time of the month. If nothing else, I'm like, wow, my hair's pretty good. You might need to start by clutching onto something so small and then building it up. My hair's really good. Do you know what? Quite like my eyes. They're nice eyes. Oh, my smile's not that bad either. You know? Like, I don't mind that. And then start speaking love to yourself every single day. Repeat, 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 repeat. This isn't going to be like I look in the mirror, I tell myself I love myself once, and then that's it, I love myself. No. You have to work on this. You have to work on this every single day. But isn't loving yourself, like, isn't that worth it? To do that every single day? To love on yourself? To change yourself to be someone who looks at themselves and hates themselves, to someone who looks at themselves and is proud and likes themselves and loves themselves and doesn't stop themselves from doing anything that could make their life better because they don't like the way they look at themselves. Like, we need to flip the script that we're telling ourselves every single day. If you don't flip the script, like, change nothing, nothing changes. Okay, so when I think of personal branding and I think, right, everything is going online, so much is online nowadays. If I'm not putting myself online and trying to represent myself in a way that I like, that I want to attract that certain people, certain opportunities my way, if I'm not doing that, like, in another 5-10 years, when I've built my personal brand even more, if I've not done it, like, what am I going to be missing out on? Because I'm missing out on stuff right now because I'm not putting myself out there online. This was me 6 years ago before I started putting myself online, right? What are you going to be missing out on another 5-10 years down the line when you haven't built a personal brand? Do you know what? When I was made redundant last year, I am so glad that I had already started putting myself out there online. I didn't have a great LinkedIn presence at the time, so that was one area that I probably could have done with more work on, but it's cool, we're not perfect. Like, you're doing all of this on your own. But I had enough of a presence that I could get on there and ask for help. I had enough connections out there in the online space that I could ask, has anybody got any opportunities out there available for me? And do you know what? The job that I'm doing now came from that. It came from me jumping online 6 years ago. It came from me building connections with people, staying in touch with them, networking in person, and then keeping those connections going online through our screens. It meant that, like, it happened because I put myself out there and I wasn't hiding away during redundancy and going, oh, woe me. I put myself out there and I was like, this is pretty shit, guys. Has anybody got anything out there? Because everything I'm seeing on Indeed.com is making my eyes go cross-eyed, and it is also sucking the life out of my soul. There must be something out there that is different to all of these life-sucking jobs. And I found it. I found it because I had started to personal brand 6 years ago and I put myself out there. And when you need it most, that's when your personal brand comes back to you. You give and you give and you give and you give and you create this amazing personal brand and you get more confident, you get over yourself, you get less scared, less fearful, you create the skills and you get better at the skills over time. And then after you've given it all of that, when you need it, it comes back to you because you've built those connections online. You've built those kind of that visibility with people. People know you, they like you, they trust you, they want to help you. People inherently want to help each other. So when you need it most, they will come through for you. And that's when your personal brand kicks in. And that's, I feel like, the missing piece. Most people don't think about that. Like, what happens if the life that you're currently living now, impact happens in it? And, life throws us curveballs, and we need to pivot, and we need to find different things and different opportunities and different ways of moving through life, different ways of earning, different ways of like just being. Creating a personal brand, getting that out there helps you to do that. But you'll only do that if you feel good about yourself, if you get over some of those limiting stories that you're telling yourself about why you can't personally brand. Why can't you personally brand? I am sat right now with a computer in my kitchen / dining room with like pretty much a blank wall behind me, personally branding. I am putting myself on video content. I'm going to be putting this out online. Why can't you do that? You will have a device of some kind, whether that be a phone or whether that be a laptop. You will be able to create free social media channels. They're free, absolutely free. It's cost me nothing right now to do this video, apart from obviously the technology that's involved. But like we say, we've already got some of this technology. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be ridiculous, especially at the start. You can grow a personal brand by just being normal, just being you, just being like approachable and putting yourself out there and getting out of your own way. I hope that's given you a little kick up the bum today. And I hope that's given you like another way to look at like some of the limiting things that you're telling yourself. And it might not even be about personal branding. It could be about anything. Like, how many times in a day do you say, I cannot do something, can't do something? It's not because you can't, you just haven't before. Go and try it. Go and do it. Get over yourself. Tell yourself better stories. And be curious. Why can't you do it? So that's my video for today, guys. Ties into this week's theme of kind of confidence and confidence of how you get the confidence to step online and put yourself out there. I do think that we all stop ourselves from doing so much that would be beneficial in our lives, and we don't need to. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I will come back next week on your screens for more personal branding content. And we've also got the Brand You podcast as well. So keep your eyes open for that. That's on Spotify. Just search Brand You. And we're dropping an episode every single week on Monday at 9 a.m. And it's all about teaching you how to personally brand. Different tips, different hints, different tricks every single week. So we can take you from literally like no personal brand to flourishing, thriving personal brand and beyond. We're going to be having some special guests on there as well to talk about their personal branding journeys, which I'm super excited about. So keep watching, keep following, subscribe if you've not yet to my channel so you get notified when these videos pop up. And let's start personally branding together. You can absolutely do this. I know you can. Stop telling yourself you can't.